Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another broadcast here on Illinois Sports Network. Just to update you guys on some things that has been happening in the last few months. If you notice, the sound quality is a heck of a lot better. You have my lovely bride to thank for that. She surprised me with this awesome Turtle Beach gaming headset. So we're going to be using this when we do our broadcast. So that'll help improve the sound quality by a lot. Also, I have been keeping up with all of the leagues and stuff like that. My basketball league has started, and I've also been continuing the action in my football league. So without further ado, let's go ahead and update you on what's been going on in the leagues real fast. I'm not going to give you like a blow-by-blow on every game, but I will give you what the current standings are. We will first start with my NBA play-along. I'm not playing all 82 games or however many games they play. I'm just playing one game a week per team. I've gotten through 5 weeks, and here's how it looks. We'll start with the East. Also, sorry if you hear me coughing or sniffling. It's because I've just gotten over a cold. So, yeah, it's good to be back. All right. So, in the East, we have Charlotte, the only undefeated team in my NBA, 5-0 and a point differential of 63, number 1 in the East. Then you have Milwaukee, number 2 in the East, at 3-2, point differential of 36. Then you have Miami at 2-3, point differential of 35. Toronto at 4-1, point differential of 24. Right now, the app I've been using to keep track of everything, it places point differential over records. So what I'm reading is not like the exact standings or anything like that. It's just how the point differential stacks up. As you can see, as I just said, Miami's 2-3. They're listed higher than Toronto, who's 4-1, but that's because of their point differential. But so yeah, then you have Atlanta, who is 4-1. Then Cleveland 3-2. Detroit 3-2. Washington 3-2. Boston 3-2. Indiana 2-3. The Knicks 2-3. The Bulls have yet to win a game. They are 0-5, and the Orlando Magic are 0-5 as well. Philadelphia 76ers 1-4, and the Brooklyn Nets are 0-5. Then we'll talk about the West. San Antonio 4-1, Golden State 4-1, Houston 4-1, Dallas 4-1, the Lakers 3-2, Sacramento 3-2, the Clippers 3-2, Portland 3-2. The Suns from Phoenix 3-2, Oklahoma City Thunder 2-3, New Orleans 2-3, Utah 2-3, and Minnesota 1-4, Memphis 1-4, and Denver 1-4. So that's where things stand currently in my NBA play along. And this video, of course, we're going to be bringing you the Thursday night football game for our week 15, meaning there is only one more week left after this. And that will be New Orleans at Detroit. We're going to go ahead and talk about what is going on in my NFL right now. Just bringing that document up on my phone right now. Give me 1 second, and here we are. Okay, so in the AFC East, it's still loading, sorry. AFC East, Baltimore still has a stranglehold on that division. They have clinched it at 10-4, point differential of 83. If you've watched other videos, you know I'm using point differential as the tiebreaker. New England is second in that division with 7-7, point differential of 66. Then the Jets, 7-7, point differential of -17. And then Buffalo is at 6-8, the point differential of 7. So Baltimore has indeed clinched the East with only 2 weeks left to go. Pittsburgh, they are the best record in the NFL, 13-1 with a point differential of 198. The Detroit Lions, probably the biggest surprise of this season, 11-3, point differential of 77. It's really, really interesting. The Detroit Lions have a better record than the leading team in every division but the division they happen to be in. The Indianapolis Colts in the NFC North, 4-10, -133 is their differential, and the Cleveland Browns, 1-13, -183 is their point differential. The highlight for the Cleveland Browns season is their one win came in a shootout where they beat Cam Newton and the Carolina Panthers, the reigning NFC champions. Now we move to the South. The Houston Texans and the Miami Dolphins are battling it out for that title. Houston is at a point differential of 22, while Miami's at a point differential of -11. Then the Jacksonville Jaguars, 5-9, -71, and then the Tennessee Titans, 4-10, -42. If you watched my other NFL videos, you know that I have also kind of mixed up the divisions there because it never made sense to me why Indianapolis was in the AFC South, why Dallas was in the AFC or in the NFC East, while Carolina was in the South. When I always felt that Carolina was more East than Dallas, so you'll notice I mixed some stuff up. Then we'll go ahead and go to the West. AFC West, the Seattle Seahawks, moved them back to the AFC West because I thought the idea of having a possible Carolina-Seattle Super Bowl someday, or a Arizona-Seattle, or a San Francisco, well, San Francisco may not happen for a while, but the possibility of having those type of matchups in the Super Bowl would be really, really cool. So the Seattle Seahawks, 9-5, point differential of 92. The reigning world champion Denver Broncos, 8-6, point differential of 16. The Oakland Raiders, 7-7, point differential of 52, and the San Diego Chargers, 3-11, point differential of -92. So as you can see, if it were to end today, Pittsburgh would be the number 1 seed in the AFC, followed by the Ravens at number 2. Seahawks at number 3. However, Seattle is only 1 game behind Baltimore, and if they were to catch them, they would have the point differential tiebreaker at this moment. So Seattle would be number 3. Houston would be number 4. Detroit, who, if they were playing in any other division in the AFC, would be the division leader, is the number 5. And the number 6 is the reigning champion Denver Broncos. All right, now we'll go to the NFC. NFC East, of course, Carolina Panthers lead that division 11-3. They have clinched it. They are at 11-3, point differential of 57, while second place is Washington at 7-7, point differential of 28. Philadelphia is third, 7-7, point differential of -44, and the Giants are 5-9, point differential of -99. The most exciting division race I feel like in this NFL this year that's coming down to the wire is this one, the NFC North. Cincinnati Bengals, who they've been moved over here, are winning that division at a 10-4, point differential of 68. But the Minnesota Vikings, same record, 10-4, point differential of 49. So really, the last 2 weeks could tell us everything we need to know about that division. A lot of really close races here in the NFC. The Chicago Bears, 6-8, point differential of -35, and the Green Bay Packers in the basement at 5-9, -59. Now, this is probably the single most exciting division period in the whole NFL. The NFC South. New Orleans leads it at 8-6, point differential of 22. However, the rest of the league, meaning Atlanta, Dallas, and Tampa Bay, each have a record of 7-7, so are only 1 game behind. So tonight's Thursday night game featuring New Orleans and Detroit could mean an awful lot here. Atlanta is second place in the division. They have a point differential of 18. Dallas is third place. They have a point differential of 10. And Tampa Bay, the only chance they really have to win the division is they have to win on record. They are not even close in the point differential, as theirs is -63. And then in the West, Arizona has clinched that division. They are 10-4 and a point differential of 137. Where the battle for Arizona, Cincinnati, and Minnesota is concerned is who will have the number 1 spot in the NFC. Right now, Carolina has it with the best record, but they would lose in tiebreaker to 2 of the 3 teams that are only 1 game behind them. So as of right now, it's Carolina is number 1, 11-3, 57. Arizona would be number 2 at 10-4 and a point differential of 137. And then 3 would be the Cincinnati Bengals, 10-4, point differential of 68. And of course, the Saints would be number 4 at 8-6 and a point differential of 22. The wild card. It's going to be, we will most likely have 2 teams from the NFC South represented, the NFC North represented in the playoffs. The Minnesota Vikings would be the number 5 spot, and the Washington Redskins would be the number 6 spot. However, they barely beat the point differential of Atlanta and Dallas. And another little surprise here, Kansas City, after starting with a horrible first quarter of the season, has rebounded, and they are in that wild card race as well. They are have the same record as the presumed number 6 seed would, but they lose on point differential. So This is far from over for a lot of teams. However, Arizona has locked up a playoff position. So has Carolina. And you can say the same for Pittsburgh, I believe. And for sure, the Baltimore Ravens. And that will now take us to our game tonight, which will be the NFC South leader, New Orleans Saints, at the very, very surprisingly good this year, Detroit Lions. So we take you out to Ford Field for today's game. We're going to go ahead and close that so we don't accidentally run into it. And here we go. All right. New Orleans at Detroit. So this game, should Detroit be successful, this opens things wide open. Well, that's kind of repetitive, but this makes it a very, very interesting competition down in the NFC South. All right. Just to kind of give you some info of what's exactly at stake, let's look at what the rest of the NFC South is doing. So Dallas plays San Francisco, which is a very, very winnable game for them. Atlanta plays Cleveland, a very winnable game for them. And Tampa Bay plays Houston, which is not as winnable, but it could happen. So should the Saints lose this game, things become very, very interesting in the South. Going to load settings. If it comes up, there we go. NFL, open. And we will do the coin flip. And as you can see, Detroit has won the coin toss and will receive the kickoff. So Randy Bullock on to kick off for the Saints. Here we go. And we are underway here, Week 15 of Thursday Night Football. And it goes into the end zone for the touchback. For those of you guys that have not watched my videos before, I use Inside Sports games.org's games. For football, it is Inside Blitz. For basketball, it is Inside the Paint. For baseball, which will be starting in April, it is Inside Pitch. And then for hockey, which will be starting very, very soon, I haven't quite secured the funds to purchase that yet, but we will be doing a hockey play-along. It will be Inside the Crease. So how this game works is let's go ahead and just do that. So here's the playtime. Since it was a kickoff out of the end zone, so a touchback for kickoff, no time comes off the clock. And what it will do is it'll select a play based on what the index is. The index here says 17. So there is a chart that lists a bunch of numbers, and whatever range that index is in, that tells you what the the formation the defense is playing. And then you'll roll a dice, and it'll say within that, you'll roll 3 dices. One will be a column, one will be a row, and one will be a sub-row at the bottom. And that'll tell you what the defense's play is, or what their strategy is, and what the offensive strategy is. And it'll also tell you who the run is going to, whoever is in this thing. So first play by Detroit. Looks like it's going to be a handoff to Amir Abdullah, 1-4. And it's going to be a 1-yard gain stopped by Stephon Anthony. So what happens is, so you look at the roll here. You take the red and the white die. That is the column and the row. So 1, 4. On a run, it'll say a number slash a big number slash a small number, or vice versa. And what you'll do is you'll measure the run defense of the selected defender. So what you'll do is it'll this is the computer game of an actual board game. So, and this is the FAC right here. So let's see. The play was a inside right. So inside right, it'll tell you who the key defender is. And since their formation is starters, it'll see if it'll have, where'd it go? There it is. You'll take either the left inside back or the middle linebacker. You'll obviously want to take that's your primary one, but if there is not one on the starters formation, which it does not look like there was one for New Orleans, then you'll take the middle linebacker. So the middle linebacker, Stephon Anthony. It'll tell his run defense is 6. You'll measure it to the blue dice, which is the rating dice. So meaning that run was going to get stopped no matter what, but let's say that was a 3. That means a 1 through 3, and they get the smaller number. So as you can see here, if it was a 4 or 4, the smaller number would actually be a loss of yards. But If it was a 1 through 3, it'd be the smaller number. If it's over his rating, so a 4 through 6, that would be a bigger number. So as you can see, run defense is a 6, rating is a 6, and that results in only a 1-yard gain. 40 seconds come off for inbound runs and completed passes. So here we go. And the index changes depending on the situation. So the index, this 25 right here, is you find that out by taking the down times the yards. So 2 times 9 is 18. And then you add the offensive index for Detroit. So 18 plus 7 is 15. And then you add the defensive index for New Orleans, 0. So 18 plus 7 is 25. And that's how you get the 25. That's where it comes with. That means they'll be in the nickel formation. And then the dice roll tells us it's strategy. Or their strategy is man. And then it'll be medium pass. And the FAC will tell you who's the key thing. So let's see. Medium pass. Key is going to be the left outside back, and it's going to go to receiver 71. We'll come back to that in a second. So what we'll do is close this. We'll roll the dice. 4-3. X means it's a chance for completion. There was no defender. So basically, Matthew Stafford throws to a wide open Golden Tate. All right, so how we decide who's wide open. So it was a medium pass. Medium pass, it is the left outside backer. So obviously for the nickel formation for the Saints, there is no left outside backer. So that's blank. So it's a wide open pass to Golden Tate. If the guy's medium pass defense was equal to or less than what the blue dice would have rolled, then that would have been a blocked pass. But instead, wide open pass to Golden Tate. As you can see, it's going to whoever number 31 is on the play, and that would be Golden Tate. You roll again, 5-2, and Golden Tate catches a wide open shot for 20 yards, first down Detroit. All right. So, and you do it again. 1 times 10 plus Detroit's 7, 17, and that tells you stars. So now you have an idea of how the play works. All right, so we'll just go ahead and go from there. All right, here we go. Stafford drops back to pass. 4-5, another X means it's a possible completion. His medium pass defense rating is 0, which means it will be complete. So he fires a strike right into the hands of guess who again, Golden Tate, and he gets 13 yards. Another first down for Matthew Stafford and the Detroit Lions. All right, here we go. This time they're going to hand off to George Wynn. And as you can see, run defense 3, rating is 5, which means it's going to be the greater number. So 5-1. And Wynn is going to go right through the center for a gain of 1. Okay, 2nd and 9 on the New Orleans 40. Stafford back to pass, throws. Okay, so 4 is an R. That means it's a rating. What will happen is this will come up. The rating is the number right here. So it's the same thing as the passer defense. So if the dice roll is equal to or less than the rating, then the receiver catches the ball and you go to the receiver rolls. So the rating is 4. Calvin Johnson is a rating of 6, means that he's going to catch everything thrown at him if it's under the rating result. So Johnson catches this one, and he's going to get 14 yards on the play, 6-6. And another good pass for the Detroit Lions. Here we go. Handoff. Looks like this time it's going to Theo Riddick. Riddick is not going to get stopped by Jarius Byrd, and he's going to get through for 6 yards. 2nd and 4 from the 20, and we are now in the red zone. All right. So 2 times 4 is 8, plus 6 is 13, I believe. 8 plus 6. Oh, no, that's 14. Sorry. Plus 14. And then the adjustment for the offense is in the they have a red zone adjustment. So how they come up with 15 here is 2 times 8 plus 7 is 15. But you take away 2 in the red zone adjustment, meaning they like to more run in the red zone or go short pass. So they take away 2, so that takes you back down to 13. But the defensive adjustment in the red zone is +2, so it takes you back to 15. So that's how they pick starters, man, stuff like that. So it's really kind of cool how things will change depending on where they are at in the field, and they'll also change starting the second half depending on what the score is as well. All right, 2-4, back to pass, throws, and that is going to get through the defender and into the hands of Theo Riddick, who is going to get 5 yards in the first down. First and 10 from the 15, and as you can see, red zone, you add 1. So, all right. So that means 1 times 10 is 10, plus 7, 17. So index is 17. Here we go. 5-2. Hand off to Jokey Bell. Bell is not going to get the block he needs from Abdullah. So what happens is, let's see right here, inside left. It's the left defensive tackle or the left inside blocker. However, sometimes the key player is an offensive player, and you test their run protection. Amir Abdullah has a really crappy run protection of 1, so that dice needed to be a 1 for him to be successful to get 6 yards. Instead, Abdullah doesn't get the job done. He only gets the 1 yard. So, and we have a possible penalty we're about to find out, and we do have our first penalty of the game. Penalties are a little bit more complicated. What'll happen is right here on the FAC, it'll tell you, well, on the actual FAC, it'll tell you if there's a chance for a penalty. And then what you'll do is each offensive line and each defense has a penalty rating. You'll roll, and whoever's rating it lands within, it's their penalty. So it says right here, offense / kicking team penalty. So what you'll do is you'll roll against the offensive line, or if it's a special teams, you roll against the kicker's penalty rating. If it rolls inside that rating, then it is penalty. If it's outside, then it's not a penalty. And it's all based on how often they got penalized in the season of 2015. Okay, so, and then you'll roll another dice. It'll be 62 on run plays. And see, as you can see, their penalty rating is 5. Their rate roll was 4, so it is within the rating. 62. That is going to be personal foul, offensive live play ball, and they will lose 15 yards and go back to the 30, first and 25, and 10 seconds come off the clock for penalties. All right, Stafford. Thinking medium pass, can't find anyone, so he'll throw it away. That's what the blank means. It's a throw away. And that will bring up second and 25. Stafford, short pass, throws. This one is going to be knocked down. As you can see right there, 1-1 by Stephen Anthony. And that will bring up third and 25. So the Saints starting to stop the momentum of the Detroit Lions. Here we go. Stafford thinking medium pass again. This time he gets a wide open Golden Tate. Only 12 yards. They're inside the 20, but it's 4th and 13. And they will bring the field goal team on. So how field goals work is you take where you're at, 18, and then you add, I believe, there's a certain amount of yards. I think it's like 17 yards or something like that. You add that, so that'll give you the total of how far the field goal must go. Then you roll the red and white die, and if the number that it lands on is greater than the attempt, then the kick is good. If not, then it's no good. So 4-5, kick is up, and it is good, and the Detroit Lions lead 3-0. They usually say to take 0 seconds off for field goal attempts, but I would think it's better if you take 10 seconds off, because that way you can kick a field goal as time expires, stuff like that. So we take 10 seconds off, and we have to choose the proper kicker for kickoffs, and it will be Sam Martin. So here we go. Martin kicks this one 62 yards. The coverage rating is 3. The coverage is 2, so that means they will get I believe the lesser of the numbers. So here we go. 3-5. That I believe 18 yards. Yep, good coverage. So their rating was 3. The coverage rating roll was 2. So that means they provided good coverage. If this was above 3, or if it was this one over here, if it was above, or if it was 2 or above 2, Or let's look at one where it would have been above. Man, they must have done pretty decent on all their kickoffs. But let's say this was a 4, and that was a 2. That means they'd get the 36 yards for poor coverage instead of the 18 yards for good coverage. So this one will go to the 3-yard line. He'll return it out to the 21. 10 seconds will come off the clock for change of possession. And now here comes the Saints. All right. It looks like they're going to hand off for the first offensive play for them to Kyrie Robinson. Robinson, he's going to get a good block by Zach Streif, and he's going to get 9 yards on the run. 2nd and 1, going around the outside. Here we go. Breeze, hand off to Mark Ingram. Ingram is going to get met at the line. Unger could not provide the block he needed, and he gains 2, but it's enough for the first down. 1st and 10 from the 32. Breeze going to throw his first ball of the game. Back to pass throws, and Glover Quinn knocks it down. 1 there, and as you can see, Glover Quinn's a 2. Incomplete pass. And now here goes Breeze. Breeze dropping back to pass. Oh, we'll go and turn that off. Dropping back to pass throws, and it looks like we're going to have a pass rush. What happens on the pass rush is we'll look at the FAC. So pass rush, it'll be nose tackle versus the center. So what happens is his pass rush is 1, and then the nose tackle, depending on how well he did defending pass rushes, will either have a negative number or a positive number. If it's a negative number, then you take that much away from the pass rush of the key defender. If it's a positive number, once I hit pass rush, that'll change to their nose tackle. If it's a positive number, it will add to them. And then you'll roll the die, whatever it falls in, the rating falls into. If it falls into the rating, if it's the whole equal or greater than, then the pass rush was not successful. If it was successful, then what you'll do is you will roll a you'll roll 2d6s, and right here, if it's 11 through 65, he's sacked. If it's a 66, he's going to run. Then you'll go to the run card, which will show that one if it's available. If he eludes it, then you'll roll another one, and it becomes an automatic rating pass, and he would throw the pass to, let's see, it's a long pass. Secondary receiver would be receiver number 2. So whoever's rated number 2 on long passes. So if you'd roll it, if he avoids it, you'd roll it. If it's a 1 through 11 through 13 quick pass, 14 through 44 short pass, 5 through 56 medium, then 61 through 66, he stays with the long pass. All right, so here we go. We're going to hit the pass rush, and the right cornerback was the guy. It looks like he does elude the pass rush, and he is going to fire it to Brandon Cooks for the short pass, 5-3 for 9 yards. Great job by Drew Brees avoiding the pass rush. And he looks like he drew a penalty as well. Let's see what the call is. Illegal contact, 10 yards assessed from the 36-yard line. Penalties accepted, and 10 seconds off the clock. So not only does the Detroit Lions pass rush fail, they end up getting drawn for illegal contact and giving up the first down. All right, here we go. Breeze back to pass. Throws a long one, except Glover Quinn is all over that one again and defends that pass. Incomplete, 2nd and 10. Breeze. Thinking short pass. Fires. It's going to be a rating throw. And it is going to be caught by Willie Snead for 2 yards. And another flag on the play. Oh, and it looks like it's going to be an offsides penalty, or an encroachment penalty on the Detroit Lions. Penalty is accepted. And what happens is actually for penalties, offsides, or false starts. So that was obviously an encroachment one. So 0 seconds come off the clock, and it is now 2nd and 5. All right. Ingram looks like he's going to get it. Goes around the outside. He's going to get hit by Ezekiel Ansah and Josh Bynes for a loss of 1. Credit for the hit is going to go to Ezekiel Ansah. Josh Bynes also in on the hit as well. 40 seconds come off the clock. 6:20 left in the first quarter. 3rd and 6, ball on the 50. Breeze going for the short pass. Back to throw. It's going to be a rating one, and it is going to be easily caught by Colston. And he gets the first down. 5-4, gets exactly 6 yards for the first down from the Detroit 44. 40 seconds come off the clock. 5:40 left. Breeze back to pass, throws, and it is going to be caught by Tim Hightower, who is going to dodge through, and he's going to bust through for another gain, and he's still going. So what the M means is you go from the short pass to the medium pass, then roll again, and then if you landed on L, you'd go to long pass, meaning he basically busts through a bunch of tacklers. So he busts through one tackler, and he gets 10 yards from the short pass and runs out of bounds. All right. They're pretty much within field goal range to tie this game up. Breeze back to pass. Here comes the pass rush. He eludes it, fires, and as you can see, the FAC told us exactly what the play was going to be. When you elude it, you roll again. Obviously came up as a quick pass, but the rating was just outside, so it barely bounces off the hands of Travis Cadet. Incomplete, 2nd and 10. All right, this time they're going to hand it off to Ingram. Ingram, he's going to go right through the center, and he's going to bust through for a gain of 10. That's what the S means. So S means short gain. S means short gain, so meaning he kind of found a hole and took advantage of it. B means breakaway, which means he just trashed the line. So S and B, it would be handled both the same way. There's a chart that you would roll on based on their long numbers. Or sorry, long is only for breakaway. So short, there's like a column that you would roll on, and whatever it landed in, that's how many yards he'd gain. And then for the breakaway, you would roll it based on the long number. So his is 7, so his breakaway would be massive. But we'll handle that later when it comes. So a 10-yard gain by Mark Ingram, and they are well within field goal range here. 1st and 10 from the 24. Breeze back to pass. Here comes the pass rush again. He eludes it, fires, tries to get Hightower, but it's overthrown. Incomplete pass there. Okay, Breeze thinking short pass again. This time he fires it. Fires a strike to Benjamin Watson, who's going to get 4 yards on the catch. And it is 3rd and 6 from the 20. Here we go. They're going to hand off to Hightower. Hightower's going to go around the outside, and he's hit by Josh Bynes for a loss of 1, bring up 4th and 7 from the 21. And here comes Bullock to tie it up. A 38-yard attempt. Kick is up. And 4-6. He nails that one through the uprights. And we are tied with 3 minutes left to go in the first quarter. Randy Bullock kicks this one 68 yards. But it's not going to be very good coverage at all. And TJ Jones is going to get 30 yards in the return, starting from their own 27. Oh, wait, I did that wrong. All right, so I should have hit 10 instead of 40, so we'll see what happens here. All right, Bell, he's going to get the ball. Bell's going to go right through the center, and he finds 3 yards. Great block by Riley Reef. And it's 2nd and 7. This actually works out well because I can just hit 10 and make up for that. All right, 2 minutes, 10 seconds left in the first quarter. Stafford thinking medium pass. Here comes the pass rush, and he's sacked. So what happens if you're sacked? You roll in another chart, and then I'll tell you how far back he was. By Cameron Jordan, I believe, for a loss of 7 yards. And 40 seconds come off the clock. 1:30 left in the first quarter. Stafford thinking short pass, fires. And it's going to be, here comes the pass rush again. He eludes it, medium, fires to Calvin Johnson, and he gets 15 yards after the pass rush and runs out of bounds. 1:20 left in the quarter. Handoff, Abdullah. Abdullah is going to take this one right through the center, and he's hit by Kevin Williams for a loss of 1. 2nd and 11. 40 seconds left in the first quarter. This will probably be the last play. Handoff, Abdullah. Abdullah is going to go right around the outside. He finds 6 yards, no problem. And that will conclude the first quarter. It is tied at 3. We'll be back in our next video. We will see you in the second quarter.